everyone's, and this is Jonathan McKinney.
Good day.
And this is Molly Dog. And you're watching another episode of Writing, Talking and Dog Walking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you can see, we are lacking the dog walking part of this video. We have got the dog, it's just not in motion.
Right.
And that is because the weather outside is so shockingly terrible. You would not be able to hear us because of the wind.
Mm-hmm.
We'd struggle to film because of the rain. So yeah, we all like, we can still do it, but we'll just have to sit.
Yeah, we can do that. We can sit and talk about writing.
And I think really, realistically, with winter coming, we're probably more likely to do a lot more sitting versions of these videos.
Yeah, we won't neglect the dog.
No, just we can't film while we walk, because the dog walking in the rain is different to when you're strolling along talking.
Yeah, and some of the videos have had a lot of wind.
Yeah,
noise.
and it's just, it's not going to be helpful to you if you can't hear what we're saying.
So what's the question we're going to answer today?
So yeah, we have a question that we got on Instagram from Books to Life, which is how, I'll put a link to that in the description, which is how do you know when a chapter is coming to an end? So how do you naturally finish your chapter in the right spot? How can you tell that your chapter is ready to finish?
This is a dead easy one for me, because I tend to, if I'm writing a novel or a short story or whatever, I will use chapters. I think I've always used chapters. I'll decide what length I want the chapters to be, roughly, based on you know, how I feel the genre benefits the most, right? So the Shield Maids novels, I aim for chapters about 2,500 words. So if I'll go up to maybe 3,500, I'll be as low as 2,000, but I'll never be lower than 2,000. And in Unholy Water, because it's a little more literary than sort of action based, I doubled the length of the chapters, so they're around 5,000 words per chapter.
Yeah.
So for me, once I'm getting to that point, then I'm just in, like, I am in sort of be ready to end the chapter mode. Once I get over, if it's a Shield Maids novel, which is what I'm working on at the moment, then if I'm over 2,000 words, then I'm ready. If I find a dramatic point, or if I know that I've got one approaching, then I'll build to it and I'll use it. If it's immediately after 2,000 but it's strong, I'll use it. If it's if there isn't one, if I'm still building something, I won't cut myself off and save a dramatic sort of flourish for another chapter in the middle of a chapter. I'll just build to it and let the chapter be.
I do it by word count as a guide as well for the for Nature Girl versus Worst Nightmare, because that's a children's book. It's 13 chapters and each chapter is about 1,000 words.
Right.
So when I was writing that with my daughter, because she obviously did the ideas and I did the typing, if we were getting to a point where she was coming up with something that was a monster about to attack, say, which happens, or a portal opening, which happens, I would try and make sure that I was steering her so that when I was typing it out, that event would happen at the end of the chapter.
Right.
The one I'm writing now is What Ivy Wants.
Yes.
And that's more chiclety. It's a woman fresh from divorce going through, you know, self-discovery with her friends and her parents, and, you know, learning to be herself as a woman in her 30s, not a wife. And those chapters are around the 2,000 to 2,500.
Right.
So again, I'm making sure that at the end of the chapter, it's not just, oh, I've hit my word count, so I'll stop mid-paragraph, or a scene that is playing out. But I'll try, if I'm at the end of my word count, my sort of, the area that I'm aiming for, again, it might be a bit under, it might be a little bit over, but around the 2 to 2,500, I will be like, okay, I've got to steer this now. So when it ends, this scene, it's ending in a way that draws your audience to want to keep reading.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think if you end chapters on just and then she went to bed, then your audience...
Like, well, I'll go to bed too.
Yeah, exactly. Your reader will then feel, well, okay.
Yeah, if she went to bed and then there was a stalker outside the house.
Exactly. I mean, that doesn't happen in my book, but there's an example.
Right.
You end your chapter in a way that makes your audience want to keep reading, because your chapter can be a natural put the book down situation.
Essentially you're competing with your reader in that regard, aren't you?
You're competing with your reader's desire to go to sleep,
Yeah.
or the fact that their journey is coming to an end,
and
they're
they need
like,
to get on with something
exactly. So what you're trying to do is lure them into reading further. And obviously people will put the book down at some point. Like it always, usually it takes people at least a couple of days to get through a book. But if you can make it so it's painful to put it down and they're desperate to get back to it, that's what page turner means. The desire to keep turning the pages. So when you feel yourself getting to the end of whatever you set your chapter word count at, just try and structure it so when your character goes to bed, say in my book, because it's not a stalker or a magical book, it is about feelings and emotions. She might then start to have an emotional feeling during the evening and be lying in bed awake contemplating a change or something that she needs to do or a decision that she needs to make.
An uncompleted task.
Exactly, because then you want to then go to the next chapter to find out, does she act upon it? Does she deal with those emotions? Does she decide to do something that is a challenge for her? So if you build it around word count, because I think if your audience understands the length of your chapters, they will feel they will feel in place. They will know what they're dealing with. They won't feel, oh, it's ended, or God, how long is this going on for?
You don't want the reader to feel like this chapter's going on for ages, even if it's really exciting. If they're like, oh Jesus, another
because
page.
there's something satisfying about the end of a chapter, because you're like,
you feel like you've completed something.
Exactly.
As a reader. You're ticking off a chapter. You're not literally doing it.
But you feel, I have completed something with my experience. It's satisfying to finish a chapter, because otherwise, realistically, if there wasn't a satisfaction in chapter ending, we would just write a single long
Terry Pratchett.
And then you'd just stop reading when you felt like it. But because we enjoy, as humans, we enjoy the completion of something, even if it is just the completion of a chapter reading. That is why we put them in. So you want the completion of the chapter reading to be satisfying in and of itself, but also lure you into the next one.
You've probably heard the phrase before, but always leave them wanting more is good advice for the end of a chapter.
I agree.
Even if you are using a dramatic moment, if you're building to a dramatic moment, which you want to do, it shouldn't be a complete dramatic moment, right?
Exactly.
It should be a dramatic moment, a punch in the face for the reader, but then also what does that mean for these people that reader's investing in going forward, because that's what makes them go, I have to read another chapter and I'll stop at the end of the next one.
So
and then
for
you do
instance,
it again and again and again.
In Nature Girl versus Worst Nightmare, the middle chapter, it ends in a completion in the sense that there's a big fight, the teachers are there, the school children are there, they're having a fight with a monster in the bad dreams. The completion of the chapter is the fight ends. But it also ends because the Sparkles, these gang of little superhero trainee kids, are sucked through a portal. And that is why the fight ends. So you have the completion of the ending of a fight, but the excitement and the mystery and the suspense of these children being sucked through a portal into another dimension, because it's a children's book, so just go anything. So it's both a satisfying end to a chapter and a lure into the next one.
Cool. I think that's about it.
So that is our advice on how you know if you've ended a chapter, and I hope that was helpful to you. If you could do me a huge favour, if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel, and
turn on notifications.
You won't miss any more writing advice that we're going to bring you. We're going to try and, as you say, bring it every day, a little piece of advice to help you grow. If you want us to answer your question, we've answered Books to Lives today. If you want us to answer your question, drop a comment below or contact us on social media. We are trying to answer every question that we get. It might take time depending on how many videos we batch record, etc. But we will try to bring every question and answer.
Yeah, we will.
If you want to contact us on social media, we're on Facebook. All the links will be in the description. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. My Twitter is Judy Ann Rose, and his is John Muck. We're over there. We're talking writing all the time. We're putting out writing advice. We're discussing other people's work. It's a great place for writers to go, meet other writers, and talk about what you're doing. So find us on there and come talk to us.
Yes.
What else?
That's about it.
One more. If you go to www.sirenstories.co.uk, you can win things over there by putting your email address in once. You can win things every single month, so do that. And also you'll find links to our film that we are going into production on in January. It's called Hollowhead, and it's written and created by us, and it's our first directing.
Yes.
So we're very excited. That's happening in January, and hopefully it will be coming to you next year.
Yeah, hopefully by the
Halloween.
autumn.
Yeah. So basically, look out for that, because we are very excited, and we are obviously going to be putting into our film all of the tips and advice that we are bringing you, we are using ourselves. So you'll be able to look out for them and see and understand how we have used everything that we are doing.
A Siren Stories bingo card.
Yeah. Oh, look, narrative triplet.
Yeah.
Ding! So look out for it, and we're bringing you behind the scenes interviews with cast and everything in the build up. So thank you very much for watching, and we will be back again soon. The sleeping dog over here is probably quite relieved we haven't dragged her out filming today, because it's horrible. So thank you very much, and we'll be back soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.